Hi folks, and welcome back. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. It's about 20 degrees already, and I've made a start planting things out in the no-dig border on the no-dig allotment. I've started with some module sown beetroot, and there are about 3 beetroot seed in each module. They've pretty much all germinated, pretty reliable. And I forget what variety this is. I think it's probably the Detroit 2. I think it's a red beetroot. And I've got 3 module trays with 9 in each, and I've just put 1 in. And all I've done is I've just made a hole in the manure mulch. It's not well rotten manure. There'll be odd bits of well rotten manure in it, but mostly it's wood shavings and fresh manure, so it's a mulch. But we've done this in the past on the borders of the original allotment, and it's quite good when it's fresh, the manure, as a weed suppressant. They don't tend to germinate too well, but after about 4, 5, 6 months it breaks down into a fine, almost like a fine soil really, quite dry. But as I say, it's a mulch, and all I've done is I've just made a hole with my hand, and then I've filled that hole with some spent compost that I had left over from my aubergines last year. The mulch is about 2.5 inch deep, so directly beneath the compost is soil, so it should be nice and moist down there. I'll keep them well watered to start with, and hopefully they'll take root through the compost and into the soil. And you can see they're spaced, I don't know, maybe 8 inch, 9 inch apart, but there'll be about 15 plants in here with about 3 roots on each plant, so other things being equal, we should get something from them, and it should fill this border up nicely as well. Okay, we'll move on now and we'll do something else. Just take a brief look at the rhubarb, and that's the after shot. I've just taken off a wicker basket full of rhubarb, and there's probably about 5 or 6 kilograms there, I would think, at least. So we're going to have a nice crumble tomorrow for Sunday lunch. Hi again, we're in the new greenhouse on the no-dig allotment, and you can see it's just approaching midday on Sunday, and the temperature is currently 31, and it got as high as, this would have been yesterday afternoon, 96.3, and it dropped to 38.3 in the night, which is about 3 or 4 degrees above zero. And I just thought I'd show you the tomatoes. They seem to be thriving, and as you can see, just put my hand at the side so you can get some sense of how big they are, how much they've grown. They've all got the first set of true leaves, and they're filling out now. These are mostly beefsteak varieties. That one's a Paul Robeson. I think that's a pink Berkeley tie-dye, and you have to excuse my shadow. The others, the cherries, they're coming on alright as well, the sun gold and the zakura, they're all doing nicely. No significant purpling of the leaves, so we're doing better this year. I water from the tray, as I say, and you can see the tray's now empty, but you can see quite clearly the compost is moist. I'll come down tomorrow morning, and I'll probably put 1 centimetre or so in the tray, and it'll sit there, and the plants will take it if they need it. But it avoids, you know, the plants themselves being overly wet above the soil surface, just in the event that it's going to be a cold night. Have a quick look round on the other tray. We'll see we've got a couple of marrows at the back come through. These are not actually aubergine, these are aubergine, but I think that was a pot of sun gold that I just popped in. Normally I put my tomatoes in a propagator at home, but I just popped these in as a reserve, a fallback, and they've just come through in their own time. The squash are coming through, This is a summer rollet, it's called. I think that's a black one. This is a yellow scallop. The scallop ones are a little bit like flying saucers, if you will. They're a bit pleated. Very, very hard skins, very difficult to cut through once they've cured over winter. This is the Yoshiki curry. This is a bright red squash. And a few more squash at the back. Hunter, I think they are, and sweet dumpling, they've not come through yet. Courgettes are more or less ready to be pricked out because they're crowding each other. I put 3 seeds in each pot. Cucumbers, they're just about coming through. We've got 2 at the front, 3 at the front, they're burpless, and we've got some market more at the back. They're burpless as well. So I only want about 4, probably maximum 4 burpless and 2 market more, and I've got enough already, so if the others don't come, that's no great shakes. And the peppers and chilies, well, they've not made an appearance yet, and the different varieties, so you would think you know, they're going to come in their own time, that they've not all failed. It'd be very, very surprising if they did, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different varieties of pepper there, and chilli. So that's the new greenhouse. All the potatoes are through and filling up nicely, as you can see. I think these are Charlottes, and that's a pink fir actually, one there. That one is a main crop. You can take them earlier, but they're always really tiny, otherwise very difficult to peel. You have to wash them. That's a pot of Sarpo Mira that I kept my own potatoes from last year, and I've popped those in. We'll see how they go. I've not bought any Sarpo Mira this year. They were a bit disappointing last year, but I thought I'd just try some of my own seed potatoes. Yeah, Charlotte over there in the corner. So they're all through. They've all fired, so nothing to worry about there. Hi, Monday the 10th of April, and I've come in from work and it's still pretty bright. It's been a little bit cloudy, but I just thought I'd try a different kind of radish. I never really used to like radishes, but I've been impressed this year by how quickly they've grown, and they've actually been really mild as well, and I've started to use them in stir fries as well as in salads. So I've got one here. It's an unwins seed, and it's called Purple Plum. So I'm going to try this one now, and I'm going to keep growing them every 3 or 4 weeks along with salad, so that I have salad all the way through the year and right into the autumn, early winter hopefully, because the greenhouses are quite warm. Okay, so I'll get these sown now, and as you can see, they're fairly evenly spaced. Might have a few too many in there, but that's not quite half a packet, and hopefully that'll produce about 4 good bunches of radish. It's the same pot that I used on the first lot that I sowed, the Scarlet Globe, but as I say, these are Purple Plum. So I'll get these covered with a little bit of compost and then watered, and they'll be back in the greenhouse. Hi, Monday the 10th, and I've just sown the Purple Plum radishes, and I thought I'd take a look at the first raised bed that I prepared, the no dig. You have to excuse the wind, it's really breezy. And you can see I've just removed the plastic cover, and around the edges it's sunk quite a bit, probably about 4 inch all the way around, but it's still quite mounded in the middle, so I might have to rake it over a bit. There's not very much in the way of weeds. We've got what looks like it might be a dock leaf there. It's all blanched because it's been covered, and then at that side as well, and there's one coming through there, and these have probably come through from the bottom. They're just around the edge. There's not really anything in the middle. It's just where possibly the weeds have intruded from the grass at the side and found a way through. I'm going to dig those out now carefully, and I might just take a core, if you will, want to call it that. I've got the trowel ready. I might just dig down into the middle just to see what it looks like, see how well rotten it is. So we'll do that first. I'll remove the weeds and then we'll have a look at what the soil looks like. Hi, so I've dug out a hole about 8 inch deep, and the top 4 inch or so appears to be fine. Well rotten manure, which just looks like soil now. And the soil, the only thin layer that I can see that's not decomposed is the spent hops. I've dug down as far as I can, and it just looks like soil at the bottom. There's no evidence, you can see down there, there's no evidence of straw. The straw appears to have completely rotted I should say, and it just looks to me like I'm going into the soil at the bottom beneath the cardboard layer. So it looks like the cardboard's gone, the straw's gone, everything's gone apart from the hops. But I don't think they're going to create a massive problem when it comes to planting. I'm planning to sow some stump carrots in here, so they're not going to be much deeper than that top layer of soil anyway. But that's really impressive. As I say, only the spent hops have not rotted down, and it's 4 months 2 weeks, because I think I did this first raised bed, it's the larger one, the 10x5. I did it on the 27th of November and it's the 10th of April, so that's 4 months and 2 weeks. There's a lot of activity in here as well. There are ants, which are not so welcome, but there are lots of lice and little worms that I've seen. So there appears to be life in here, and it looks as if it's rotted right down through the cardboard and grass, so that's a good sign, I think. So I'm going to start on this one because this is the one that was done first, and I might just lightly rake the top just to even it off a little bit, and then I'm going to sow some carrots in here. And it's a Chanteray core 3 or something like that, I think it is. It's a stump carrot anyway. Hope you can hear me okay because it's turning very breezy. Catch you later. Well, I've just raked over the top of the bed, and as you saw it was mounded in the middle and it had sunk around the edges, so I've just raked it level. It probably still needs a light raking, but honestly I can't believe the condition of the soil. It's so moist, it's so nice, and I did top dress it with some spent compost, so the top's going to be alright. But that top 4 or 5 inch just looked fantastic, and there was just a thin layer, as I say, of spent hops that had not really decomposed. But beneath that, the next 5 or 6 inch was also great. No evidence of the cardboard or the straw that was in there. It just looks like, but for that, maybe half a centimetre layer of compressed hops, it looks awesome. The soil looks really, really good. I can't believe it's done as well as it has, just in the space of 4.5 months. So I'm going to strike while the iron's hot and get some carrots in, and it's a Chanteray red core stump carrot that I'm putting in. Right, so that's the bed sown, or I should say half of the bed. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so about a dozen rows, and I've just used a bit of tongue and groove boarding just as a straight edge, and I've sown the carrot quite thinly. I'm just going to cover it up now, but I just stress again how well this soil looks. It's been full of life, earwigs and not earwigs, centipedes, tiny mites and all sorts crawling around. They're all diving for cover now, but it's been full of worms. Worms have been coming up, little worms, big worms, but it's teeming with life, and you can see the soil's really, really rich as well. So I suggest you go back to the upload that I did at the end of November on building a no-dig bed, if you want to look at how I layered it up. But for now, that's it done. I'm going to make my way home now because it's turning cool and there might be a little bit of rain in the offing. But that's the first raised bed on the no dig allotment, half sown with carrot. I might try a bigger carrot in the other half. Assuming the seeds are alright, we just need to worry about the carrot fly then, so I need to get this all well and truly protected, covered with environment. It's getting really windy, that cold front's on its way, so I'm off. I'll catch you later. This is the legume bed on the third allotment, and got the broad beans up at the top, and I dug this area of ground over yesterday. It's about 9 foot by 9 foot, I think. Dug it over, raked it off. It's quite fine. There's a little bit of the old red earth in this bottom drill where we had the fire, and we spread the soil beneath the fire around. And you can see what I've done is I've got 3 broad drills, and these are Kelvedon Wonder. I'll just show you a packet. Johnson's Kelvedon Wonder. I had 3 packets, and I've put 1 packet into each drill. The drill's about a foot, 14 inch wide, and I've just scattered them, broadcast them in each drill, and I've put plenty in. I've not done them in a zigzag pattern or anything like that. Put plenty in. If the mice take a few, then hopefully there'll still be plenty left for us. So I'll get those covered now, and then that's a small bed of peas for us. I've got some mangetout to do as well on a bed in the second allotment, so I'll get this covered up, and then I'll put those in as well. Hi, and this is where the mangetout are going to go. As you can see, I've just added about 2 barrowfuls of well rotten manure onto the top. That's going to get dug in, and then I'm going to do a broad drill again and broadcast the mangetout peas. You can see I've added manure in the base of the bean frame. When I've done this, I'm going to cover this area up with black plastic, because I dug this over about a week, 10 days ago, and the leeks are going to go here next or this year I should say, about 6 rows again. Soil was fantastic, really deep, really fine, but you can see the effect that the weather's had in the last week and a half. Hot weather, unseasonably warm, breezy as well. It's just dried out the top couple of inch of soil, and it'll just end up being like concrete, so I don't want it to ruin the soil, so I'm going to get it covered up, and I think I'm going to cover a few more beds as well, because I'll have 6 weeks or so before I plant into some of them. Okay, catch you later. We'll take a look when I've got everything in. And that's the broad drill of mangetout peas broadcast, and I've covered up the neighbouring patches of earth, because as I said, they were getting really dry. I actually hosed them down first and then covered them. I've also done the same on the third allotment. There was a patch of earth at the bottom there, that's been covered as well. That's going to have some more potatoes in, probably middle of June, and I've sown the peas. So that's it for this update. Thanks very much for viewing, thanks for subscribing, and I hope to catch you again soon. Cheers.